Okay, now what you see here is a Cartesian plane, all right? This one here is a Cartesian plane, and yeah, we are going to talk about quadrants, all right? We are going to talk about quadrants. I put it into the center like this, all right? So the Cartesian plane is having y-axis, and the x-axis, like so. And the y-axis and the x-axis divide the Cartesian into 4 equal parts. I mean, we have 4 parts, 90 degrees each part, 90 degrees, the way you see here. So it's all 90 degrees, and they make a total of 160 degrees. So 90 degree here, 90 degree there, 90 degree here as well, everywhere 90 degrees. So each 90 degrees make a quadrant, it makes a quadrant. Okay, so it makes a quadrant like that. It makes a quadrant. So this is what we call the first quadrant. Well, this one is the second quadrant, and this is the third quadrant, and while this one is the fourth quadrant. Quadrants are normally written in Roman numbers like this. So these are quadrants. Now, as from each quadrant, we can now try to, we can put coordinate of points. For example, suppose that we want to talk about this coordinate here, okay, that coordinate there. If we talk about that coordinate, we will read this point here and the corresponding point of x, of y. We read the point of x, corresponding point of y. So here it's going to be 4, 2. Okay, so if we move to the second quadrant and you want to read any point here, like this point here, okay, this will be -2, -3, sorry, 3. And mind you, coordinate surrounded by brackets like that. Okay, so see the power of quadrant. When you move to the other quadrant, you see that the coordinate changes, the sign. For example, here, if you observe this coordinate here, in the first quadrant, the coordinate of x, anywhere if you put the value of x, it will be what? It will be positive. Now, I want you to observe the rest of the quadrant when you put value of x and value of y and see what happens. When we deal with values of x here, you can see this is x and this is y. As it is here, this is x and this is y. Now try to change the values. Put different values in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, in the third quadrant. This line here is a demarcation. Down here is the third quadrant, up is the second quadrant. Okay, down here is the fourth quadrant, up is the first quadrant. Try to put values of x everywhere and values of y and see. Okay, see what happens to these values, right? Try to do some investigation, okay, some exploration, right, of points like this point here. What is this point? And if we go down here, what will be this point? Okay, if we move to this, what is this point? What is the value of x? What is the value of y? And then give conclusion of each quadrant. Okay, but the general sign of values of x and y in the first quadrant. The general sign, and when I talk about sign, I talk about either it is positive or negative. In the first quadrant for x, for the y, in the second quadrant for the x and y, in the third quadrant for the x and y, and the fourth quadrant for the x and y. Try to locate different points. Okay, can mention this to be A, this one to be B, and this one to be C, this one to be D. Put more, this one is A, put more points and have a generalization. In the first quadrant, values of x are these, and values of y are maybe values of x. If we talk about this one, values of x are positive and values of y are positive. In the second quadrant, in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant, try to deduce that generalization. Thank you for watching and hope this gains something into your knowledge. Please subscribe for more videos. I have a lot of videos, and if you subscribe, you will see different kinds of videos. Thank you for watching and welcome. And bye-bye and welcome for another video.